Welcome everyone to this video with myself, Lovisa Alvtorn of Ascension with Lovisa, and my dear friend Tim Wild of Practical Ascension, maybe I should say.
Yeah, Practical Ascension.
Practical Ascension.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Lovisa.
Good morning. Hi, Tim. So we've come together this morning to start bringing in the information for our workshop, unlocking your golden inner wisdom.
Yeah, and we're precisely 7 days away, aren't we? So, and you've been receiving lots of lovely information about this workshop. We're coming together for this morning.
Yeah. So we will be sharing a visualization with you. And I will say right away that Quan Yin is going to be our main guide. It's exciting. She came in last evening. I was preparing. But first, we're going to speak a little bit about wisdom. So I want to say, what is wisdom and what is it? What isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Because I was saying to you, Tim, that I come from an academic background. I have several university degrees, and I've also felt, because most people that I work with in my other 3D job that I still have doctor's degrees, and I don't. So I felt a bit inferior, but actually wisdom doesn't have to do at all with this. It doesn't mean that you're wise.
Wisdom doesn't have a certificate. It doesn't have a piece of paper that's signed to you via somebody else to acknowledge the scope of your wisdom. Wisdom is a personal thing, but wisdom is a personal and also a collective and a universal and a cosmic thing.
Yeah.
There's been so many different aspects of, we're coming from 3D. We are detuning ourselves from being part of the 3D school, but I'm very, very intertwined with the 3D matrix. And as we were saying earlier on, one of the biggest gateways is to begin to trust what you are receiving yourself, what is actually coming through you as your own master wisdom, your golden wisdom. And also these are shared, this is shared from a collective pool of wisdom which comes in, and all of these things intertwine at a much higher frequency, which therefore resonates at a universal truth level. So where we are at the moment, we are just finding out how to do this, what it actually means to be bringing through your own aspects of wisdom and claiming it. And claiming it is such a big part, because you've got to trust yourself, you've got to love yourself, and you've got to be confident in the ability for you to identify this as yours, what's coming through. But when you say yours without placing that human claim upon it, if you see what if you see what I mean, it's a vibration that comes in that is filled with knowledge, and it's intermingled with so many different facets, usually from the promptings that we're getting and the assistance of the beautiful souls that are helping us from the higher dimensions. And such an interesting part of the ascension process.
I love how it's unique. Everyone's wisdom is unique, but how then you connect with other. So say for us light workers, so for you and me, we connect, and we then bring it to kind of another level when we connect, because some of the wisdom that we have is shared, and then we bring in our own aspect of it, and when we connect that, we bring it to the next level.
What we have been seeing, particularly in the last 10 years or so, is a collective pull. And all of us who have stepped forwards to do this job bring in our own aspects of it, and it comes through our own personal interpretation, and we then bring it forwards. And when we bring it forwards, it's intermingled with our own personal keys and codes. So it's unique to us, and in many cases, it is a shared platform. Like, say, for example, we're building this golden fifth dimensional Atlantean. It's almost like the gold print for the future of humanity that is shared, and it is created by the application of the individual wisdom of the masters that are bringing it through. And when I say masters, I mean the masters of earth, those of us who are stepping into this role, who've accepted the responsibility and have accepted hard pathways, you know, challenging situations and learning events and the things that we've been through. And a lot of these keys and codes are gifted back to us when we've done the work, when we've done the searching, when we've been through the grind. And quite often we realize them, we get that light bulb moment at the kind of the darkest point where we think we can't do any more. We've been pushed to the absolute limits of it. And I spoke about this previously in a Friday video of mine, turning coal into diamonds. You know, in order to create a diamond, heat and pressure have to be applied. And I've seen this occurring so many times for us. All of a sudden there's a breakthrough. And that breakthrough comes with the right, okay, I own this. You know, I've been through this, I've done this, I've got my universal teaching certificate rather than one that's been written for me by another human who's been testing me in an exam situation. So really and truly, we're doing this on a much higher cosmic level now. And owning our information is our spiritual heritage. We're reclaiming our spiritual heritage. The wisdom that we are privy to is triggered by a universal pull, but it's also everything that we bring through individually is intermingled with our own personal wisdom keys and codes. And that's a very, very important thing for us to go through.
Yeah. So I think it's very important that we don't limit ourselves.
No.
And so to think of wisdom in the 3D way, that you do have to have this special education and these diplomas and degrees and so on, it's just limiting you. And so really, for anyone who's read the description and are interested in our workshop, we were saying that the Lyran masters are coming through. So I thought that was wonderful when they came in, and they're really saying that it's important right now. It's so important. This theme, we're at a crucial point in history for us to step back into our power and sovereignty. Yeah, because this does have to do with 3D, and the 3D, it plays very well in the hands of the 3D leaders that we don't trust, that we know, and that we have, you know, that we're able to make the choices for ourselves.
It pays to keep us divided. It pays to keep us in a state of confusion and working against each other, and having there is nothing more beneficial to the matrix of polarity to keep people in a state of separation and confusion and competition and all of the other energies that are. There's so much of it in the field at the moment. I was again saying the other night on the workshop that I did with David, that there will never be a more confusing or conflicting point on our pathway at the moment. And the service that we provide ourselves and others by anchoring our own master wisdom in, and also our own personal truth, is what changes that. The entire basis and the vibration and the frequency of everything around us changes when we anchor that in and we own it. That's mastery, that's sovereignty. That's what we personally then bring forward to the table, and it's such a powerful thing. It's the ultimate act of unplugging, to say, I know this for myself. But it's also a difficult step.
Yeah, and then to really engage your heart in this, because even before you might not know consciously why you know it, or you don't have like any facts or anything, but using your heart, you'll still know. Like your heart will always tell you. So just to let it flow through the heart as well. But I was thinking, so many, when I've been spiritually awake for 5 years. So at the beginning, when I noticed a lot of light workers are bringing through, say, channeling information from angels and these ascended masters and so on. And so then I was quite surprised that, because after you'd visited Sweden and we'd gone to the King's Mounts, reactivated this huge portal to the cosmic heart there, suddenly I had to kind of sit up in the night and just write stuff down. I started like getting all this information, and I was like, where is this coming from? Because it felt more like it was an internal conversation with myself.
Yeah.
And you said to me, this is yours. And I was like, what, how, what do you mean yours? Because I wasn't used to hearing light workers speaking of like their wisdom, bringing in their wisdom. So that was like new to me, and it took me a while to understand and how, and also with this kind of scholar background, if you call it that, that I have, kind of struggling with that. How do I have that wisdom, and what is it actually? But it has a lot to do with soul experience, I find.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. It's I think it's easy to forget how big that shift was when we all started receiving that opportunity to step into our master roles. It was vast, it was huge. And of course, we've been very distracted by the goings on in the last couple of years or so on this planet. 2020 and 2021 has provided us with all of these incredible distractions. But that is the point during those years that I believe that people have really started to look inside and start to trust what they're coming through with. And of course you can compare it to what other people are bringing through, but ultimately what you've got on a personal level is yours. It has your soul clarity, your chime, and everything else that you are bringing through with the keys and codes. And that is completely unique. That's why we're all here doing this, is to bring our uniqueness into what is ultimately a very large and beautiful collective process. And that's how it's going to work. Otherwise, we'd have all the same stuff, wouldn't we? Like the field would be built from a repetition, and that's not the case of what we're doing.
Right. And also why and how it's unique is we all have these different connections out into the cosmos. We have different places we've incarnations with where we've been. It doesn't have to be like in the physical incarnation, of course, like these different soul experiences. Then we have these connections, and for example, for me, the Lyran connection is very strong.
Yeah.
So, and I feel very at home with that. So they can come through me very easily, but then that mixes with my individual knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
And so it's often a shared wisdom that we bring through, right? Our own, and then those connections that we have.
Yeah. And they're asking each and every one of us to put our own personal interpretation of it out.
Yeah.
So as many people can receive it and act upon it as possible. That's the big push at the moment. It is a big push. Yeah.
So we will be including something that you love a lot, but that some people feel very or a bit scary, maybe, or freaky. The crystal skulls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have Alex here.
Oh, this is Jophiel. This is my travel companion.
So Alex is here, but I wanted to show everyone this photo from the 8/8 this year of that's not my skull. Let's see, you see it?
Oh, such a lovely picture.
Yeah, so that's Enoch, my dear friend, soul sister Anna Indra Larsson's skull. Enoch, a smoky quartz skull. And he just on the 8/8 we made up there's 4 of us that always meet on the 8/8. We were going to do some powerful light work together. This is at a portal, so portal is connected to the Stargate of Lyra also, and so I'm just facing that portal in this photo, and he just wanted to cuddle. So I took a couple of photos of me cuddling with him. And then afterwards, when I looked at the photos, I realized he wanted to come through with this message, like, can you see how much he just wants love and how loving he is?
Totally feel that. Totally get that.
So because people do have fear for the skull and thinking, connecting it with, we're closing in on Halloween also right now.
Yeah.
right? So that's when you connected with death and with fear, and right.
The other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually it's the skull is a symbol of wisdom and knowledge, right?
It's the Atlanteans honored and revered the crystal skull as being the house of human wisdom. So that is why they used that particular shape. And of course, when you carve a crystal skull, or when a piece of crystal requires or asks that it becomes that house, you then are basically effective. The way I've always been shown is that your skull is therefore a computer or a supercomputer. And it's a supercomputer because it's not just connected to you, and it's not just containing the wisdom and the codes that it already contains. It's connected into some pretty high frequency stuff as well.
Yeah.
So it's an anchor point, that crystal skull of yours, or if you're drawn to connecting with them in any way, shape, or form, it's almost like a cosmic supercomputer that will store and house any information that you allow it to, or you ask it to connect to, but it will also be the house and the connection of existing wisdom and codes and frequencies and knowledge and all of the other aspects. So they're not just a creepy looking carving. They are very, very powerful.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Also, the type of crystal and in general that you will attract will be perfect for you.
Absolutely.
Put it that way, because I cuddle with all of mine, like the skulls and the dragons and everything. I don't know. Those are the crystals that I work with. I kiss them and cuddle with them. But then I know I have, or it's a friend of both of ours, Yu-chan.
Yeah.
She's so when she realized I did that, and she asked her crystal skulls, like, oh, maybe I forgot, maybe you want to cuddle, and they were like, no way, stay away.
Rejection.
So
bless.
And so
some of them are very different personalities, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had very grumpy crystal skulls.
Right.
And
they don't come to me.
No, this was one particular one, and it actually looked remarkably similar to this. This one, and it was very beautiful, clear, natural citrine, like almost water clear, and it was the grumpiest crystal skull that I've ever met in my life. So it brought through the information, but it did not want to do the. I mean, this one, Jophiel, goes under my pillow at night and stays in my hand, but this was not the role of this crystal skull. It wanted to be elevated and left alone to look majestic and clear and bring the information through, and would give you one-liners or one word in response to a request for information, and it made that very clear from the word go. So they have their individual personalities.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
But so kind of through Enoch, through that skull, like there's a message and a kind of a longing from the Crystal Skull Collective, if we call it that, to connect with more people, to reconnect very with us now.
So. Very much.
Because since in Atlantis, everyone had their crystal skull, and everyone worked with them. And then we had the 12 main skulls, of course, of each of the temples.
And the amethyst skull, which was carved in the fifth and the final one to house the collective wisdom of all of the 12 put together. And it was that the amethyst skull was the supercomputer. The amethyst skull was the ultimate accumulation of everybody's individual, say, the household skull, and these skulls of the 12 tribes of Atlantis. Everything was placed into this one place, the supercomputer, the amethyst skull. So it's they had a very, very unique and very powerful system working.
Yeah, but I know I got a lot of comments on that post, and it was quite a long post. But really, how do you feel about crystal skulls, hand on heart? So how it started.
Yeah.
So
because I remember that.
Because when I woke up spiritually, then 5 years ago, I wasn't interested in. I thought they looked a bit creepy as well. And you even call your Facebook page Crystals and Skulls, that you had, because back then you were selling them through there. Now you have your web shop. but I was like, what is up with the skulls, you know?
Yeah, I remember the
Yeah, so it was
conversation very, very well.
the ankh that drew me in, like
Yeah.
directly to the heart. But so only later I understood, and that's also, again, it's something that we need to reclaim, this connection, what they really stand for.
Yeah.
Because if we continue to have the fear around them, we're not going to allow the connection.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think the fear is just a natural process of working through, because the human mind is automatically associates the shape of a skull with death. That's what the 3D representation of it has been. So it's relearning what these things actually mean to us, or sometimes losing the programming that we might have been carrying through in our DNA or in our chakras through our personal experiences. And that's
going to come. We're going to get some healing for that, and working with that in this visualization, actually.
Brilliant.
Today.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it would be really lovely to roll into this visualization.
Yeah.
Actually.
And actually, when I knew we were going to be working with the skulls in this visualization. So here it's more prominent. It's not just that, because yes, that's what I also wanted to say, that it's really about a separation, because I feel that connection to the fear of the skulls also, like the separation between the mind and the heart.
Yes.
And reuniting the mind and the heart. And that's really going to be coming in this visualization, and how important that is. And that's also going to be coming in our workshop, but on another level.
On another level altogether.
On another level. And a lot with the golden ray. But here Quan Yin offered to come in and guide us. And she has a very protective energy. She's very fierce and then very loving at the same time, and all this compassion. Oh yeah, let me also show the dragon card from Diana Cooper's deck then.
Nice. I love that card.
Right?
Quan Yin's pink dragon.
There. Yeah. And it's interesting because I felt, her dragons are going to come in, and they're gonna take us to this temple in the etheric temple of the heart. And so I went to get the deck, and it just fell out. So I was like, okay, definitely
that's where
dragons are. That's how it happens. So I'm just going to show you a picture of the sky and the light that was coming in, that she was coming in to me through. So while we read the visualization.
Okay.
For you. Okay.
Gorgeous. Thank you, Lovisa.
From my evening walk.
That's glorious. Absolutely glorious.
Beautiful light. Yeah.
I'm going to cut my video now.
Oh yeah. I wonder if I can do that from here.
I think so. If you go down to your video on the bottom left.
Okay. Like that. All right. Okay, so here we go. And as usual, if you have a crystal at hand, do grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is reuniting the heart and mind in the temple of the heart with Quan Yin and your Atlantean crystal skull. So now close your eyes and focus on your heart, which is your energy core. Feel your heartbeats and breathe long, slow, deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Your heart is beating steadily and strongly and calmly. So just breathe and relax in through your nose, out through your mouth. Feel how any worries that you may be carrying at this point just fall away as you're brought fully into the now moment, into the present moment, in your heart and in your breath. Breathe and relax in the here and now.
Feel the ground beneath your feet now, and how the earth is holding you steady and stable. Feel your roots of light growing into the earth, and allow your heartbeat to connect with the heartbeat of Gaia, Mother Earth, beneath you. Your heart is connecting with the heart of Gaia, deep, deep down in the center of the earth. And feel how you're grounding in deeply, and how Gaia loves you, holds you, and sustains you.
Now before you, a female figure stands, smiling warmly. Her energy is fierce and strong, yet so loving, compassionate and warm. This is beloved Quan Yin, Goddess of Mercy and Compassion. Allow yourself to feel completely safe and protected, and so very loved exactly for who you are in her powerful presence. Just allow yourself to rest in this energy for a few moments. Relax and breathe, and let it fill you up completely.
Quan Yin is here to take you on a journey. And she points to two of her pink dragons landing before you, ready to take you both to the Atlantean temple of the heart in the etheric. One of the dragons comes up to greet you. It breathes on you softly, and as you breathe in its soft pink energy of firm love and karmic balance, this spreads into all of your bodies and fields, to your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body, your aura.
Now you climb up on your dragon. Allow yourself again to feel completely safe and protected in its loving energy. And in a whoosh, off you go. You are moving swiftly now up through the dimensions. Up, up, up on the back of your dragon. And with Quan Yin by your side leading the way. Just enjoy this ride and take in whatever impressions come to you now.
As you're moving through the cosmos now, enjoy the sight of the earth in all her beauty from above. Further and further up you go, until before you a golden gateway appears. As you approach this gateway, the gates swing open, and you see a beautiful temple inside. And you land on the temple grounds with your dragon now.
Now you get off your dragon and you feel the soft green grass and the white marble stone against your feet. What a exquisite, soft, loving, high-frequency energy this place holds. Take it in with all of your senses for a few moments. Just breathe and relax. This is the temple of the heart. Have a look around you at the temple buildings, the plants and the flowers, and listen to the sound of the fresh, clear water flowing freely from a waterfall nearby.
Now Quan Yin smiles at you and invites you to walk with her towards a cliff next to the main temple building. And this is where the waterfall is falling down this cliff. And as you get closer, you see that behind the waterfall, there is an opening to a cave. Now Quan Yin takes you by the hand and leads you directly through the waterfall. And you enter the cave inside, feeling very purified and refreshed by the water.
Now, as you step in, know that you have entered a healing chamber in the very heart of the Temple of the Heart. Look around you as you keep walking. You are heading towards a huge hall in the center of the cave. The walls around you are shimmering with rose quartz, clear quartz, beautiful milky white quartz. As you reach the main hall, you can see a pond with the most beautiful soft pink lotus flowers fully in bloom in the center.
On an altar next to the pond, you see a crystal grid laid out around a group of crystal skulls. Quan Yin stops with you in front of this altar. Now, you may or may not have been working with crystal skulls previously in this lifetime, but rest assured that you have done so many times before. In Atlantis, everyone had their own crystal skull. They represent higher wisdom, and they were highly adored and loved. One of the skulls before you holds your wisdom from Atlantis. And this skull will assist you in a powerful healing and reconnection ceremony here today.
But before you walk up to the skulls on the altar, Quan Yin steps forwards and places one hand over your heart and one hand atop your crown. And she starts to send powerful pink healing light to help balance and heal and clear all and any blocks that may be holding you back from connecting fully and wholly with the love and wisdom of the crystal skulls in your life today, and from reuniting your heart and your mind for the next step of your ascension journey. It is time.
Now, with the healing sent out from Quan Yin's hands into your heart and into your mind, can you feel the release and clearing of old karmic ties and bonds that have been put in place to disconnect your heart and mind? One of the ways of doing this has been to limit your view and understanding of what the crystal skulls represent and the power that they hold, the power of love and the power of light. Any other programming is false and corrupted, and this is lifted from you now. Gently and firmly land more and more in this insight. Release and let go, and thank Quan Yin for her assistance.
Just breathe and relax and allow yourself a few moments to release and let go. Breathe and relax. And when she feels ready, when you feel ready, Quan Yin nods, steps back and examines your aura. And she looks very pleased. You are ready. You are ready to reunite your mighty heart with your mighty mind. And your Atlantean crystal skull is the tool that you will use here today to help you to do this.
And now it's time to approach the altar. Quan Yin points to the skulls and asks you to pick your skull now. You may have a look at the skulls on the altar first if you wish, but you will make this choice here today with your heart. And so Quan Yin asks you now to close your eyes.
Feel into your heart now. Feel the power of love radiating out from it. And feel how your heart energy moves through your arms into your hands. Now reach out your hands and let them guide you to precisely the right crystal skull for you, to your personal skull. Just allow your heart to guide you, and you will find that this choice is easy. There is no doubt once you have made your decision, just allowing your heart to guide you.
Once you touch your skull, you may feel like a buzz of energy moving up your arm and back into your heart. You may also feel an activation of your crown and third eye. Feel the love from the skull and its joy in helping you reconnect your heart and mind here today. And just allow the reconnection with the skull for a few moments now.
Breathe and relax as keys and codes are now flowing in between you and your crystal skull, helping you remember and to come back online, helping you connect with more of your wisdom from Atlantis and from also many other times and places also. Know within yourself that this is just the beginning, and this process will continue in the time to come. In this moment, accept any memories or images or symbols that might be being presented to you in the now moment. Just breathe and relax and allow these keys and codes to flow between you and your skull.
Now, as you pick up your skull, you may take note of what crystal or crystals it's made from, and also more details of the way that it looks and feels. And either sit or lie down now with your skull on the soft cushions by this altar. This is a sacred ceremony of reuniting your heart and your mind. Quan Yin and the masters of the Temple of the Heart and the Temple of Wisdom and Knowledge are overseeing this ceremony. Feel their presence in the cave with you and know that you're in such loving and wise hands.
Now, either sitting or lying down, but relaxing completely. Feel and be aware of your heart energy as it keeps flowing into the skull that represents the mind. In this way, you are allowing your heart energy to move into the mind via the crystal skull. Your higher heart and your higher mind have been separated since the fall of Atlantis. But at this point in time, in this moment, they are now coming back into alignment.
So reaching out for the skull via your heart, you can start to receive, really feel the love being sent to you from the skull. And now also start to return the love from your heart back into the skull. Just feel this dual flow of energy back and forth for a few moments now as it solidifies. And now start to accept the higher wisdom from your mind, with the skull as the transmitter, back into your heart. Feel the flow in both directions as this powerful activation takes place. You are coming back online in unity between the heart and the mind. Nasa imro akashia he, anamahe nakaina e, awasohe asohe asohe naum.
Just take a few moments to allow this to completely integrate with you. Breathe and relax. Your visit at the Temple of the Heart is now coming to an end. You thank Quan Yin and the other masters who are present. As you connect with them now to say goodbye, you may recognize one or several of them, and they may have a message for you for the time to come. Open your heart and your arms and your mind and your bodies and your souls and your fields to receive this message now in any way that is presented to you.
Know that the connection to your crystal skull will continue, and you can connect with it in meditation in the time to come. Now Quan Yin takes your hands and says she will take you home. Close your eyes, holding Quan Yin's hands in yours, and you start to focus inwards once again, into your heart. And you start to breathe into your heart, taking long, deep breaths in through your heart and out through your heart. You return to here and now through the portal of your own heart center. So just breathe and allow yourself to flow back into your body and land fully in your body again. Just continue to breathe long, deep breaths in and out through your heart.
Now start once again to become aware of the room around you. The ground beneath your feet sends silver roots from your earth star into the earth and ground yourself back in, back to where you are in the now moment. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your hands and your feet, maybe stretch your body. And when you are ready, open your eyes and smile. Welcome back.
I'm showing you another picture where people are coming back. That's the picture for our event.
It is.
How do I get out of this? Here we go. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
And here I am back as well.
Thank you for bringing
Tim.
that beautiful visualization through, Lovisa, and I hope everybody enjoyed connecting to it. That was wonderful, and a real connector, a powerful connection. So
It was really heating up there.
Yeah.
So strong. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. And I was holding on to my little skull. It's
Oh, wow.
Iris.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is Iris. I'm always like, oh.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
but they really have a lot of love to share, don't they? Like
They do indeed.
they're like a head
Much-
shape, but they have so much heart, I feel.
Much more than you'd think. Much more than you'd think. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we are really looking forward to bringing this workshop through, and we hope that you will feel guided to join us. And the details of the event will be available in the text underneath this video. So we will see you there. Sending you all lots of love.
Sending you lots of love.
Thank you, Lovisa. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye for now.